This is Chapter 4, Assignment 2, and it's on page 124 of the textbook. So the first thing says to create a new spreadsheet workbook, but I have that done for you already. Rename Sheet 1 Race Data. So if we right click on the tab Sheet 1 and we can click on Rename, and we type in race data. And you need to press enter on your keyboard to get that accepted. On the top of page 125, chart 1. Display the top speeds using a bar chart. Information relating to chart setup is displayed in table 411. So we're told it's a bar chart. So before we try to even make a chart, we need to highlight the relevant information. So we need the top speeds, but we also need the names of the drivers. So highlight the names of the drivers and the top speeds. And now we go insert. Now I prefer to go a long way about this. There are a number of little shortcuts, but I go into recommended charts, all charts, the tab called all charts, and then you can see the types of charts down the side. So we can see that there is a type of chart called bar, and within that there are 6 examples across the top, and the first one is clustered bar. So he asked for a 2D clustered bar, 2D as in flat, as opposed to 3D, which is more three-dimensional. So we're looking for the 2D clustered bar. And we say OK. And what happens is the chart is just created on the sheet that you have the data in. And you might have to move it, you might have to resize it, you might have to add some things to it. So he has asked in the textbook that the chart title would say driver top speeds. Well, at the moment, the chart title says top speed. So if you click on the chart title, you can see the little selection handles going around it. If you click into it a second time, you get a cursor, which is where your typing will occur. So if you use your left arrow key on your keyboard to go back before the word top and type in the word driver, space, top speed, but it's not speed, it's speeds with an S at the end. In this case, you can't press enter on the keyboard because that will just give you an extra line to write on within the little text box. So you actually need to click away from the typing. Horizontal axis title. Well, we don't have one. So if there's anything that we need that's not there, we go into the plus box, chart elements, add, remove, or change chart elements. So click the little plus. And at the moment you can see axis titles is not ticked, so I can put a tick in axis titles. But if I go out the side, I can see that I have both a primary horizontal and a primary vertical axis. And he hasn't asked us to do anything about a vertical axis, so I will untick the vertical axis and the space for that disappears. But you can see I have the axis title down here. If we want to type something in place of the word axis title, we have 2 choices. We can either click into it, as we did with driver top speeds, or we can type into the formula bar and press enter, and it will become the axis title. So we're putting in speed bracket kph. And I can press enter if I'm in the formula bar. Then he asks us to apply style 27 to the chart, which are in the design tab. So in the design tab, you have some styles. When the textbook was written, there were many more styles. There are now only about 13. So we will apply style 7 rather than 27. So when you hover on the style, the name of the style comes up. So number 7 is this one here. Move the chart to a separate chart sheet named top speeds. When you create a chart first, it goes onto the data sheet. It goes onto the sheet with the data. But you can move that to a sheet all on its own. Not a regular type of spreadsheet, but a specific type of sheet called a chart sheet. And how we do that is we have to make sure we're clicked into the chart, or we don't get the chart tools tabs at the top. We want the design tab, move chart. At the moment it's an object in race data, but we want it to be on a new sheet, and we're going to call that new sheet top speeds. And when we click OK, you can see it has brought it to a sheet all of its own. Change the chart type to clustered bar in 3D. So if you make a chart and you're not entirely happy with it, you can actually change the chart type. So you need to have be clicked into the chart and be on the design tab, and you go change chart type. And it's that same menu that I looked at before. So we want to look at the 3D clustered bar. So instead of appearing flat, they appear to come out a little bit. Then it says apply a shape fill to the chart sidewall using white background 1, darker 15%, and that's on the Format tab. If they ask you to format a specific element within the chart, the best way to do it is to click Format, go over here to where there is a drop-down menu which names all the parts of the chart. And we've been asked to do something to the chart sidewall. So if we look down here, it says sidewall. Now, it might look strange that what has been highlighted is in fact at the bottom, and that's because a bar chart is really a column chart on its side. So the sidewall is really at the bottom. We go to the Format tab and we have Shape Fill as an option. And when we drop down the menu, we have some colors palettes. So the white color palette. If we look for background 1, darker 15%. So it's not the first one, it's not the second one. It's the third one in the little strip of shades of white, grey. Then the next task is to apply a shape fill to the chart floor using white, background 1, darker 35%. So again, to be sure that you're doing the right thing, go to the list of elements and look for the word floor. And once you have the right thing chosen, you can see the little selection handles around the corners. You go into Shape Fill, and we look for white, background 1, darker 35%. So we've got a darker shade of grey. And that is the first chart done. So chart 2, so we're back to our race data. Chart 2 is display the fastest laps using a bar chart. Information relating to chart setup is displayed in table 412. So we must highlight the drivers' names, hold down the control key and highlight the lap. Now we go Insert. I would always go through recommended charts and then all charts. It's just very reliable. You go to bar, clustered bar, 2D clustered bar, and we just go with that. And again, there are instructions in the table. The chart title has to be changed to fastest lap by driver. So when you click once on the title, you get the selection handles around the edges. If you click twice, you get your little cursor. And if you bring that to the end of the word lap and type by driver and click away from it to have that accepted. We need a horizontal axis title, so we go plus. If you come out the side of axis titles, you get primary horizontal and primary vertical. We want primary horizontal. Now, this is a different thing. We want our bar colors to be red. You can either select one bar and it selects them all, or to be more reliable, if you go into Format and choose the option Series Fastest Lap, and then go to Shape Fill and choose red. All the bars have turned into red bars. At the moment, he's saying race data worksheet should be, now there's a typing error in the book, below chart 1, because originally chart 1 was below the data, but we've moved it since. So it's basically move that chart in underneath the data. Apply style 28 to the chart. Now we have the same problem as before. We don't have a style 28, so we will apply style 8. And then it's move the chart to a different chart sheet, which we're going to call fastest laps. So make sure you've clicked on the chart, you're in the design tab, and move chart, new sheet, fastest laps. And when we say OK, that moves it to a completely new sheet. The last point on page 125 asks us to change the chart type to clustered bar in 3D. So making sure that you have the chart highlighted and that you have chart tools. In design, you can go to change chart type, and it brings up that list, and the fourth one is a 3D clustered bar, and we say OK to that. As before, we have now on page 126 some formatting to fulfill. So apply a shape fill to the chart side wall. So to be sure that we're getting the right thing, go Format and choose from the drop down area, from the drop down menu, side wall. And in shape fill, it's blue. Accent 1, lighter 80%. And then the next thing is apply shape fill to the chart floor. So again, using the list of elements, choose floor and go into shape fill, blue, 60%. Now, the last thing we're going to do is go back to our data. Within the data, we're going to change a figure, and we should see the change reflected in our charts. In the race data worksheet, change Jensen Button's top speed to 310. So 310. When I press enter, when I go to look at the chart, just for a split second, it's still the old chart, and then you see it update. So verify that the driver top speeds chart has updated to reflect the change. So we go to top speeds, and we just, for a split second, we see the old data, and then it goes to the new data. In the race data worksheet, change Timo Glock's time to 1.64. Press return, and when you go to your fastest laps, you see the adjustment has been made there. And finally, you can save this spreadsheet.